that sci-fi strident tee. That one there. That's a marsh tit, which happens to be my Twitter handle. When humans began to fell the forest from the Bronze Age, the landscape that was left was an impoverished grassland, impoverished for agriculture, but wonderfully diverse in rare species. I know, how indecent is that? The yellow band that runs through the middle of the abdomen on a white-tailed or a buff-tailed has been hitched up and goes over the back edge of the thorax and the top of the abdomen. That's why it's really important now to talk about it so people can be responsible and behave in the right way around the seals.
So is the plea to ask people basically not to go at all?
I think that's a really good question, Jake. Yes, it's an excellent question, but you need to up your game here. I know. He's at least 2 questions ahead. The people behind me are all watching a snow leopard. Last night a leopard walked through camp just as it became dusk and everybody was able to see, and this morning the same leopard was calling from the mountainside just above us here and is right at the top of the mountain, but through Chetty's warbler. Blink, blinkety blink, blinky blink, blinky blink. You have to do the head. That's sedge warbler before it bursts into the expressive. So reed warbler, the one who briefly sang here, is very chunk, 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 and the sedge warbler starts off doing the chunk, 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 and then goes, you know what, I'm bored with this. Really special about the Wensum Valley is that it's the connective tissue of Norfolk. The Wensum springs up in the northwest of Norfolk and then flows right through the whole of the county. You've probably heard of the rapper Puff Daddy. Now I reckon a blue tit says P Diddy, which is what the rapper changed his name into. So a blue tit for me says P P P P Diddy 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 P Diddy 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 P P. There. P Diddy. There are little pockets of wildlife that are close to you for you to explore, and by exploring them you make them precious. You weave them into the story of your family's lives and you help to keep them for the future. Planet. And yet through our intellect we've separated ourselves increasingly from the natural world, but we have to remember that our very existence depends on having fresh water, on having clean air, on having a habitable climate, and as a result they've become places of crucial importance for wildlife. But commons will only exist if we cherish them, if we use them, and if we love them. Wherever you live in Norfolk there is sure to be a common close to you, and it's up to us to make sure that their future is as precious as their past. I've had the most phenomenal privilege of staring into the eyes of clouded leopards and snow leopards and you name it. I have had the most blessed experience of this earth. But I myself can have the same experience with a 7-spot ladybird on a local walk. It is equally as powerful an interaction with the beauty, the magnificence of this world. They have a genetic instinct to surf the stars and the magnetic pull of the earth to make it to Africa and back. Hickling Broad is famous for its pike fishery, for windsurfing, for sailing. Hundreds of people come here to enjoy the beauty of this place each year. And on a day like this, it's easy to see why. Following the retreat of the Devonian glaciation, which of course was the last of the glaciations of the Ice Age having begun about 450,000 years ago. From that point onwards, we were left with a tundra-like landscape which slowly would have been colonised. What's critical now is to raise the money to secure the land and secure its future. But with your help, one day, perhaps the land could come to look again like this, with restored low-nutrient grassland, with traditional breeds of livestock grazing, and with its ancient pingos once again brought to the light of day.